Hello, everyone. This is Tony with the Stick Tap Sports Network, and I wanted to bring to you today during this festive holiday season, I wanted to bring to you a little Pocket Pennant Run, the PC version of Pocket Pennant Run. Um, this is the latest update that came out, I want to say like a week or so ago. Um, I'm also using it in conjunction with the Baseball Commissioners HQ app developed by Paul Fay of FAC Sports Desk. Um, I I'm doing this a little off the cuff. I've got a little bit of a cold going, so I'm sorry if I'm a little bit sound a little bit funny or if I'm a little bit foggy, but we'll get through this. So I've been wanting to do a project like this with Pocket Pennant Run. Um, and what was preventing me from doing so was just I I wasn't able to, or I would have been able to do this like within Digital Diamond, but I wanted to really use the PC game. And now that the HQ Commissioners app is included, it allowed me to create a league of teams based teams from different seasons. So, and in this case, this project's going to be a 54 game season. It's going to feature, your traditional American and National League teams. Um, what I've done is I've put them into I've taken the best teams for each franchise from the period of 1900 to 1929, and I put them in the American and National Leagues. I call them the junior and the senior circuits. Um, I've loaded a schedule. This particular HQ Commissioners app or Baseball Commissioner HQ app allows you to create a schedule. It does it really easily. It's really awesome. Um, I I'm enjoying getting this things. I enjoyed getting this thing set up. Had to work through a few things. I spoke with Paul via email and via chat on Facebook to work through some issues I was encountering, but you know that was also I will say user error. I wasn't following instruction entirely. Um, so what I've done is, as I said, I've created teams from across eras, teams I think best are the representative team as far as the best one from 1900 to 1929. In this case, we're going to see the 1905 White Sox and the 1912 Boston Red Sox. Um, how I determine the team to take from for each team from this era was using a formula called the domination index, and so that's how these teams were chosen to be part of this project. So I guess we can go ahead and get started and play some baseball here. Um, if you do have questions, just leave them in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer them as far as questions related to like, how how I chose these teams or why I chose these teams, and I'll hopefully be able to answer them either through comments or perhaps through another video. So we're going to start with Frank Owen, be pitching for the Chicago White Sox. He'll be going up against Tris Speaker to lead off the game here for the Red Sox. And let's go ahead and get started. So the pitch from Owen will be read off of the batter's card. It's a 3. That's a F7. So he hits a fly ball into left field. Fielder Jones is there to make the catch. And there's one away. It's going to bring up Jake Stahl. Jake Stahl is playing first base for the Red Sox. The pitch from Owen is going to be a defense check on the center fielder, Danny Green. And that rolls a 12, and that's going to be a two-base error. So Danny Green misplays the the ball hit into center by Jake Stahl, and he's going to take two bases. And just like that, we're seeing the issues with defense in the dead ball era. So Larry Gardner now will come to bat. And you have Stahl at second base, one out, runner on second. Here's the pitch. Pitch will be defense check on the shortstop, George Davis. And that roll is a 7, so that's going to be a ground out. It'll be played 6-3, but the runner will take third. So the Red Sox with the runner 90 feet away from scoring. Harry Hooper coming to bat. The pitch to Hooper is going to be off the batter's card. It's a 5, and that's going to be lifted into right field. Coming over is Jimmy Callahan to make the catch, and that'll end the top half of the first. Go to the bottom of the second inning, and it's the Red Sox nothing, the White Sox coming up. So for the White Sox, the George Davis to lead things off here, the shortstop. Here's the pitch. It's going to be off the batter's card. It's a 5. It's going to be lifted into right field. Duffy Lewis will range over to make the catch, and there's one out. Now left fielder Fielder Jones coming to bat. It's going to be off the control column for the pitcher. It's a 1, and that is going to be a strikeout. So Smokey Joe Wood, the Red Sox pitcher, with his first strikeout of the day. That's going to bring up Danny Green. Let's see here. Danny Green, center fielder. Here's the pitch. Off the batter's card, it's a 7. It's going to be grounded to first. Be fielded by, who is that? Jake Stahl. We'll lob it to Smokey Joe Wood covering, and that will be the end of the first inning. So no runs and no hits for the White Sox. We head to the bottom or top of the second, and Frank Owen will be leading things off here. Frank Owen will be on the mound facing Heine Wagner. The pitch to Wagner is going to be hit into right field. It's going to be caught by Callahan, so there's one away. And now Duffy Lewis, the right fielder, coming to bat. Right-handed batter. Pitch from Owen is going to be off the control column. It's a 2, and that's going to be a strikeout. So Frank Owen with his first strikeout of the day. Take for the second out here in the top of the second. The Red Sox Steve Yerkes coming to bat. Second baseman. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a defense check on Gus Dundon, the second baseman for the White Sox. That roll is a 9. He's going to make the play. So a nice play by the second baseman. That'll end the top of the second. So we head to the bottom of the second inning with the score tied 0-0. Jiggs Donahue coming to bat. And the pitch to Jiggs is off the batter's column. 11 is a power check. Power is 2B plus 8. So what that means is we're going to have a chance to go to stretches double into a triple. Let's take a look here. So we have nobody out. A runner against a B fielder. And he's going to go for it. He's going to try and stretch it. Well, let's see. There's nobody out. And he's going to try to go to third. Yes, we're going to do it. And he's going to be safe. So Jiggs Donahue stretches the double into a triple. And the White Sox are threatening with nobody out here in the top of this or bottom of the second. And here's the pitch to Gus Dundon. Gus is going to hit a ground ball to second. This should be enough to get the runner home. And it is. So Gus Dundon knocks in the runner. And it's now 1-0 Chicago here in the bottom of the second. Jimmy Callahan, 1 out, nobody on. The pitch is going to be strike 3. So Callahan strikes out. That'll bring up Lee Tannehill, third baseman. Pitch to Tannehill is going to be off the lefty-righty column. That is going to be lifted into right field. Duffy Lewis is there to make the play. And we've played 2. Get a sip of water there. Played 2. White Sox 1, Red Sox 0. Red Sox Bill Kerrigan coming to bat. Kerrigan's the catcher. The pitch is off the batter's card at 12. That's power. Check, he's going to hit a fly ball into deep right field. But Callahan's there to make the catch, and there's 1 out. So we head to the, well, let's see, we're top of the third inning. Smokey Joe Wood, the pitcher, coming to bat. Here's the pitch to Smokey Joe, and that is going to be strike 3. And Joe strikes out. Swinging and missing. So there's 2 outs, and now Tris Speaker coming to bat. Speaker flew out to left field his first time up. 2 outs here, top of the first. Frank Owen looking in. He delivers. The pitch is going to be hit into right field, and that's going to be caught by Callahan for the 3rd out. We've played 2.5 now, so we head to the bottom of the 3rd here in Chicago. It's Billy Sullivan to lead things off against Smokey Joe Wood. The pitch to Sullivan is going to be off the batter's card. A power check. Now this is going to be a triple with a potential to stretch it into an inside the park home run. And we are not going to do that, though. Let's see here. Let's go. That's center field, right? 11. 3 beat. Actually, I'm sorry. No, he can't. He's not stretching it. It's 11. So it's just going to be a straight triple. My mistake. Misread that. Okay, so Sullivan leads off with a triple here. The White Sox are in business. Runner on 3rd. Nobody out. Pitcher, Frank Owen, coming to bat. Pitch to Owen is going to be lifted into left field. That is not going to be deep enough to score the run. The runner from 3rd, that is. And so now George Davis coming to bat. Man on 3rd, 1 out. Pitch, 12. G6 DP. Now, let me check something because I got to make sure I score this right. So let's go here. I just want to make sure that I don't, if you don't score it right, then it could be a problem here, or not recorded accurately. So that's a DP. Okay, so ground ball, runner at first, and batter are out for double play. Other runners advance. If first is empty, ground out, runners hold. So what I should do is play it as, now it's hit to the shortstop. So the runner's going to hold. There we go. Okay, so 2 outs. White Sox in danger of stranding the leadoff runner at 3rd, who tripled. Fielder Jones coming to bat. The pitch to Jones is going to be lifted into left field. That is going to be the 3rd out. It would have been deep enough to score the runner, but unfortunately, runner does not score. So we head to the 4th inning, 1-0 Chicago. Boston will be sending Larry Gardner to the plate along with Harry Hooper and Heine Wagner. Stahl reached base on a two base error by Danny Green in center field. Here's the pitch, batter, power, 9, and this is going to be a leadoff triple for Jake Stahl. So the Red Sox looking to even things up here in the top of the fourth. Jake Stahl at third. Larry Gardner coming to bat. Okay, runner on third. Nobody out. Pitch to Gardner. Control. That's going to be a strikeout. So Gardner strikes out. That's the third strikeout now for Frank Owen. Harry Hooper now coming to bat. The pitch to Hooper. It's going to be a defense check on Danny Green again. And are we going to see? Let's see. There's one out. Okay, there's a chance here. Jake Stahl, he's a C runner up against a D. Yes, we're going to try to score here. And he is going to be thrown out at the plate. Jake Stahl is thrown out at the plate trying to score. And that is going to end the inning on a 8-2 double play there. Okay. So Danny Green makes up for that error in the first inning, throws out runner at the plate, Jake Stahl, and we head to the bottom of the fourth, 1-0 Chicago. And Danny Green will be leading things off here. How often does that happen? Make a great play in the field, and then the guy leads off the inning. Here's the pitch, LR. That's not going to affect him. So power 5, and he's going to hit a ground rule double. So we got a ground rule double for Danny Green. And bring up Jiggs Donahue, runner on second, nobody out. Pitcher only now. Let's see. Jiggs Donahue, the pitch. Defense check on Harry Hooper. That's a 7. T8. Will he try to go to third? How many outs are there? There's nobody out. He might. It's a D runner against a B. No, he's not going to run. He's going to stay. So there's one out. And Gus Dundon will come to bat. Dundon grounded out to second, but that scored the run, the only run of the game so far. So Smokey Joe Wood looking in, runner on second, one out, 11. It's going to be a power check on the batter's card. It's a 5, 1B plus 7. Okay, so that's going to score the runner from second base. Will Dundon try to stretch his single into a double? That's what the 1B plus means. He is a C runner with one out against a B fielder, and he's going to be going for it. I should say I do have a helper that I kind of automate some of these things. So if depending upon the criteria, if the role, so to speak, comes up that says he's going to go, he's going for it, and that's what he's doing here. So whenever I stop and I'm kind of going over the situation, that's what I'm looking at. So this is saying he's going to go, and he is going to be thrown out trying to stretch his single into a double. It does score the run, though. The White Sox being aggressive on the base paths. So now Jimmy Callahan coming to bat. Nobody on. 2 outs. 2-0 White Sox here in the bottom of the fourth. Smokey Joe Wood sets and delivers. It's going to be hit to Harry Hooper in center field, and Hooper will make the catch to end the inning. So we head to the fifth. It's 2-0 White Sox. Here in the opening game of the what am I calling this? The franchise best 1900 to 1929 league. That's a mouthful, but it works for me. Frank Owen now facing Heine Wagner. Wagner's 0 for 1. Pitch is going to be off the batter's card. 11 is a base hit. So Wagner with a single. We have a leadoff runner on for the White Sox, or the Red Sox here in the top of the fifth inning. Runner on first, nobody out. And Duffy Lewis. Control. 12, that's going to be a wild pitch. So the runner goes to second base now with nobody out. And now the pitch to Duffy Lewis. 12 batter. 10 is a base hit. And that is going to score the runner from second. The Red Sox, just like that, have cut the lead in half. It's now 2-1. Duffy Lewis on first now. Steve Yerkes up to bat. Nobody out. 1 on. Okay, let's see. He is a C runner, so he's not going to try to steal. And no, we're not going to do a hit and run here. Here's the pitch. Control 5 struck him out. So Frank Owen strikes out his 4th batter of the day. That's going to bring up Bill Kerrigan. Runner on first, 1 out. Pitch to Kerrigan. Be off the batter's card. It's a 3. G5 DP. So let's see. That is going to be a 5-4-3 double play. And that ends the top of the fifth. The Red Sox do get a run. Excuse me. To make it a 2-1 ball game. And now Lee Tannehill to lead things off here. The bottom of the fifth for the White Sox. Tannehill flew out to right field his first time up. Smokey Joe Wood starting his 5th inning of work. He's given up 2 runs on 4 hits, struck out 2, walked nobody. Here's the pitch. It's hit into right field to Duffy Lewis. Lewis is there to make the catch, and there's 1 out. Now Billy Sullivan. It's a defense check on Jake Stahl, and that is going to be a base hit. So Stahl unable to cover the ground on that single by Billy Sullivan. Sullivan is on first with 1 out, and the pitcher, Frank Owen, coming to bat. And the pitch is going to be swung on and missed, strike 3. And now George Davis coming to bat with 2 outs, runner on first. It's going to be hit to Wagner. And Wagner will go to second for the force, and that will end the 5th inning. So we've played 5 now. The White Sox, the 1905 White Sox 2, the 1912 Red Sox 1. And let's see here. Frank Owen back on the mound to face Smokey Joe Wood. Wood's not a bad hitter, but this time up he gets called out on strikes, looking. So there's 1 out. And that would bring up Tris Speaker. Speaker 0 for 2 in the game. Pitch to Tris. It's going to be lifted into center field for the second out. Now Jake Stahl. He is 1 for 2. He's tripled and reached on a two-base error back in the first inning. The pitch to Stahl is grounded to Jiggs Donahue. Donahue is up with it. He'll take it to the bag, unassisted, for the final out of the top of the sixth. So the Red Sox are retired. White Sox now will be coming to bat in the bottom of the sixth here. For the Red Sox, 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. For the White Sox, 2 runs, 5 hits, and an error. Smokey Joe Wood now to face Fielder Jones. The pitch to Jones is going to be grounded to first base. Stahl will take it to the bag. There's one away. That brings up Danny Green. Green is 1 for 2, doubled, grounded out to first, his first time up. Pitch to Green. His control 5 is going to be swung on and missed, strike 3. That is the 4th strikeout for Smokey Joe Wood. So Jiggs Donahue comes to bat. He tripled and flew out to center field. He's 1 for 2 today. Pitch is going to be off the batter column 10 is a base hit. So there's a base hit for Jiggs Donahue. So Donahue's on. 2 outs. Runner on first. Pitch to Gus Dundon is defense check on Harry Hooper. Hooper will put that away for the 3rd out, and we've played 6. We played 6 here. The White Sox 2, the Red Sox 1. Frank Owen, gone 6 innings so far. He's given up 1 run on 3 hits, struck out 5. He's pitching a good game so far. Here's the pitch from Frank Owen. It'll be off the control column, and it's going to be swung on and missed, strike 3. So Gardner strikes out for the 2nd time today. That'll bring up Harry Hooper, flew out to right and flew out to center. He's 0 for 2 so far today. Pitch from Owen off the batter's card is going to be lifted into center field. It's caught by Green for the 2nd out. That'll bring up Heine Wagner. Wagner is going to be called out on strikes. That's the 7th strikeout for Frank Owen. We head to the bottom of the 7th. 2-1 ball game here. Jimmy Callahan to lead things off. Callahan is, let's see, he's 0 for 2 today. The pitch to Callahan will be off the L and R column. That's going to be grounded to shortstop for the 1st out. Now Lee Tannehill flew out to right field both times up, keeping Duffy Lewis busy out in right field. The pitch off the batter's card is going to be a line drive caught by Steve Yerkes for the 2nd out of the inning. And now Billy Sullivan. Billy Sullivan is going to draw ball 4. So we got a runner on first. Frank Owen coming to bat with 2 outs here. 2 outs. The pitch to Owen is going to be lifted into left field. Tris Speaker's there to make the catch. We've played 7, so we're heading to the 8th inning now. White Sox 2, Red Sox 1. For the White Sox, or for the Red Sox, I'm sorry, we're going to see Duffy Lewis, Steve Yerkes, and Bill Kerrigan. both these pitchers have fatigue. I set their fatigue at 8 innings, if I'm not mistaken. So no issues there so far. So Frank Owen pitching, and he's going to get Duffy Lewis on called strike 3. So Frank Owen, 8 strikeouts now. Steve Yerk is coming up to bat. Pitch control 11. That's going to be a walk. So he walks his first batter of the day. And that's going to bring up Bill Kerrigan with a runner on first and 1 out. Pitch to Kerrigan. LR 6 is going to be lifted into left field. Fielder Jones is there to make the play for the second out. And now Smokey Joe Wood looking to do himself a favor here. The runner on first and 2 outs. The pitch, batter. It's be grounded to shortstop. It's going to go to second for the force, or go to first for the out, and that'll do it in the 8th inning. So the Red Sox strand a runner, and now George Davis will be leading things off here for the White Sox. Davis is 0 for 3 today. The pitch is called strike 3. So Smokey Joe Wood with his 5th strikeout of the game. And now he's going to face Fielder Jones. Jones is 0 for 3 today. The pitch is off the batter's card. 11 is a base hit. So Jones reaches base for the first time today. So he's on first with 1 out. Okay, let's see. Fielder Jones he's gonna try to steal. 1 out. And he is going to be thrown out by Bill Kerrigan at second base. So the White Sox trying to manufacture a run here in the bottom of the 8th. And their base runner gets thrown out trying to steal. So Danny Green, the pitch is hit to Hooper. And Hooper is going to misplay that ball. And so now we got a runner on first. Runner on first. 2 outs. Jiggs Donahue coming to bat. Donahue is 2 for 3 with a single and a triple. Here's the pitch. Control. Struck him out. Oops, wrong button there. So he gets called out on strikes. And that's going to end the inning there. So, like I said, let's see here. He's going to be fatigued, so I'm going to do a check here to see if they're going to go to the bullpen. This is the White Sox. And it's rare for pitchers not to finish games. I think I looked at it like I think 83% of the games started by White Sox pitchers were finished. So let's see here. I have a way to check and see. And we are not going to go to the bullpen. But he is going to be reduced from a pitcher rating of B and pitcher rating of A and a control rating of A are going to both be dropped down to B's. So Owen will be facing Tris Speaker here. Speaker is 0 for 3. And LR. So just like that, of course, LNR is not going to be a platoon adjustment. So to power check, and that's going to be a leadoff double for Tris Speaker. So Speaker doubles. And that's going to bring up Jake Stahl now. Runner on second, nobody out. Top of the ninth inning. Red Sox trying to get a run across to see if we can push this in extra innings or even take the lead here. No. Pitch to Stahl is going to be struck him out. So Stahl strikes out. And that'll bring up Larry Gardner now. One out. Runner on second. Control 8 is a walk. So he's getting into a little bit of trouble here. That's going to bring up Harry Hooper with runners on first and second and one out. 3, control 2 is a K. So he's going to strike out. So Hooper strikes out. Oh, and one out away from nailing down a complete game here. Struck out 10. Heine Wagner coming to bat. Runners on first and second, 2 out. Top of the ninth. The pitch to Wagner. Uh-oh. Batter, base hit. Now, I play this as what the card reading is how that's played. So in this case, the runners are going to move up 90 feet. So it's a base hit. And now the bases are going to be loaded for Duffy Lewis. Lewis is 1 for 3, struck out twice. Pitch to Lewis is off the batter's card of 6. That's going to be lifted into left field. Fielder Jones is there, and he puts it away for the final out. And the White Sox defeat the Red Sox by a score of 2-1 to kick off the franchise best 1900 to 1929 project that I'm getting started here. So the ball game's over. Let's take a look at excuse me. Box score. Frank Owen was the winner. Smokey Joe Wood, the loser. We'll enter that as being correct. And then we will export this to HQ CSV. And give me 1 second, please. Okay, so, excuse me. So I exported the HQ to CSV. Now let's go ahead and do the import. I already put the number of errors in here, so 1 each. Upload, go to one. This page says stats updated. Okay. All right. So there it is. Oh, wait a minute. Something's not right. Okay. Let's take a look at something here. Okay, so yeah, I had made a mistake on that that file. So yeah, here we go. There's the box score for the game. That's the box score. So White Sox win 2-1. Frank Owen, pitcher of the game. Gus Dundon, game MVP with his 2 RBIs. And that is going to be that. So I'll do some periodic check-ins on how this project's going. I've got a few others that my next big project's going to be a 1982 as played replay. But I do have a few others that I'm 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 working through as well. I've got a superstar baseball replay that I'm working on, and those are probably the three primary ones as I move through 2026. So I hope you stay tuned, and I will um, look forward to chatting with you all again. So take care, be well, and if I don't speak to you before that, Happy New Year. Thank you. Take care. Bye.